Okay, we do have ourselves another point of view game to watch. So we'll be watching from Nullus's point of view. Now, this is Nullus that's been back from, I believe he was at university or something. I don't really know him very well, but he had a bit of a break. Now he's back, and he is now the new rank number 1 on the Age of Mythology Retold ladder. So congratulations to him. He's obviously an extremely strong player. He's playing in the Challengers League, which is the kind of second grade tournament to Boyd's Champions League. And to be honest, I have no idea how he didn't get through to the Champions League. I think he just got unlucky in his set getting there. And I think his path was really, really difficult. I think, did he have to beat Mosca, who's insanely strong? I can't really remember what it was. But anyway, it's criminal that he didn't get in the top league, but he's dominating that lower league and also dominating the ranked ladder. And not just that, he's dominating it with Norse. Yes, he plays Hades too, but his 5 most recent games, 3 of them have been Norse. They've been 2 Freys and a Thor. So surely that means that Norse isn't that bad. And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So move over to this side because the Thor is on the right hand side. I want to see what he's going for. So it looks like he is going for a couple of gatherers. There's a lot of different starts that you can do with Thor, and I think it's because nobody's really figured out what's the best start, or at least because everything keeps changing. There was the villager change where it went to 18 seconds. Then there was the nerf to all the gatherers where they now gather slightly slower. So Thor builds have always been a bit funky anyway, because it's like when do you drop your Dwarven Armory? Do you drop it straight away? Do you do whatever like that? And it looks like he is dropping the Dwarven Armory, grabbing the shield first, then moving on to get copper shields. And he started off with the 4 dwarves there, then getting the 5th one from the Dwarven Armory, which is nice. So this map is Megalopolis. Megalopolis, yes. I always feel like I say that one wrong. It's the one where when it's a team game, you spawn really close together, and it's the one where it has a second or a 4th town center, or an extra town center, 7th town center here. It is that map. It's a very, very big map, and sometimes it feels like a second town center is good on this map, just because of how large it is and how widespread the gold mines are. And you can normally sneak some food, you can normally sneak some gold, so we see players going for second town centers. But then also, it's so wide open. We see this gap here, which is quite hard to wall off, and then you'd have to wall off this side. So it ends up being quite good for raiding also. So it's a pretty well-rounded map. I'm kind of a big fan of it, especially because I don't know what's best to do. So we have Nullus playing as the Thor, getting a nice start up. Is he deciding to get his 3rd armory upgrade? Yes, he is. These are also cheaper, which is why I think Thor might be in an okay spot compared to some of the other Norses, because he did get a little bit of a buff. He was probably one of the best anyway, him and Odin, but Thor did get that little extra bit. He's also playing against Firefox here, or Ice Fox is his 2nd account, playing as the Noir. Noir usually wants to go for some defensive setup, probably going to go through how to. I mean, we can see that he is going through how to, and then get his closest town center and play that defensive style with the Earth Wall. So what Nullus can decide to do is, he's getting extra villagers anyway. It isn't like he needs a 2nd town center. He's already going to have his 3rd extra villager out. He'll be able to get this upgrade as well, which is Hammer of Thunder, which makes your hearses gather a little bit more favor. So what he can decide to do is go up to the next stage, pretty sharpish, drop down his own town center, or even go for a pretty delayed advance time into what he's doing here, into something like grabbing pickaxe, grabbing hand axe, grabbing some of those economic upgrades, and then going for a 1 town center play with a bit of a boosted eco. So I think that's what he's looking to do. He can always drop down a town center later if that's what he decides to go for. But the temple is down, and Freya is actually going to be the choice. I think Freya, even after the Freya nerfs, with the, what is the Freya nerfs? The Valkyrie being nerfed, I think she's still so good. And we'll be getting into this a little bit later when we play some Loki games. But I think Freya's probably one of the best Norse minor gods for sure, even though she's been nerfed a little bit. I think she's so strong. Forest Fire is probably one of the most underrated god powers. Sometimes it is just doesn't do anything because players don't use it in the right way. It's a god power where you have to think about it, And those are dangerous when you've got to do some thinking. Whereas Earth Wall's been dropped down, we don't know where it went, but that involves zero thinking, no brain power involved. You can just hit that F2 button, drop it down somewhere, and it's probably going to do a good job. But Mr. Herser, Mr. Njalsson, going to have a look around. I don't think... Has he spotted any relics? I haven't noticed that he's got any. No, it looks like he's just been unlucky and hasn't really spotted any relics. There is a Chong-Chi for Firefox, and Nullus placing Bjorn in the correct spot just to make sure that you're scaring that Chong-Chi away. You normally, when you're playing as Norse against this, it's very annoying, but you have to just keep at least one Herser back in your main base. What I like to do, if you're someone that likes to press the select all military button, is, and then it would bring your unit that's kind of waiting back at home. What you can do is just put him on a bit of a patrol. Mine's a V, so you just put him on a really small patrol, and then he doesn't come up in your select all military keys, and it really does help. I think he does count as select all heroes though, so you got to watch out for that one. But anyway, now let's moving out. Second town center has been scouted with his Valkyrie. That's what the Valkyrie's mission was to see if that second town center was grabbed, and it absolutely was. So Nullus knows what he's up against. He knows that he can go out into the middle of the map. There won't be any Firefox units for at least a minute or so while he gets the resources to actually drop those down. So he's out. Does have Bjorn coming over because Bjorn is the counter to Chong-Chi. What kind of buildings has Nullus grabbed? He hasn't actually grabbed any, so he is going for his own delayed second town center. And even though it's probably a minute or so after Firefox's, it isn't a big deal. He had the extra 4 dwarves anyway, which have been gathering for longer. So it looks like he's slightly behind in the numbers, but that is down to, first of all, Quafu, and then also his have been gathering for longer. So it ends up working out pretty equal. Unfortunately, either Nullus has missed a patch or he just wants to do this. I guess he's only sending one gatherer over. Basically, you don't get as much favor for killing these things with normal units anymore. It's much, much better to kill them with the gatherers. Obviously, the gatherer wouldn't be able to take it out on her own, so it does kind of make sense that he's doing it with his slew of hearses. Do you go Skadi in this match? Now, that is the question. Oh, Ragnaroks, thank you for the raid. Hope you had some good team games. I heard you did have a good team game, so hopefully that one went well. Do you go Skadi? I mean, you can go Skadi. Obviously, Skadi against China in general for their lightning weapons is pretty good, but that's not something that Firefox really has access to. But I think Skadi is pretty strong in general. Obviously, going the flaming weapons. You can never really go wrong with the flaming weapons. But he will have to have a Go-Mang to kind of sit into. So I think it's more of a stylistic choice, unless you're specifically countering something with the Skadi. Say if there's some sort of big myth units that you're after countering, so if it is the Go-Mang, if you feel like they're going to go into lots of the Bulldozer boys, then you could get some Frost Giants out to deal with those. We see that the Tengus are countered by Frost Giants, and this is the kind of forest fire that I'm talking about. Just to open up the position. These berry bushes are here, the gold mine's here, and Nullus is going to get some really big damage done. It wasn't a flashy forest fire. You don't see like so many damaged numbies coming up, but this is it. And Firefox wasn't even ready for it because nobody uses forest fire like this, and he's going to catch out Firefox pretty nicely here. Does have a watchtower right here. I thought that was a tower that was built onto the military camp. Nice play from Firefox. Has the watchtower. The issue is that he doesn't have really any units out to defend. He can't also grab the, I don't know, the thing which makes the military camps pump units quicker because he already has the tower on it. And Nullus is going to be able to come in here and just wipe out this military camp. Extremely good play there. I think there is a tower coming up on this side. And gatherers and dwarves very, very happy. I think, looks like Firefox did manage to get out off that watchtower and didn't lose too many units. Also getting another watchtower up. And what is Nullus doing here? I'm assuming he's just going to continually pump units in this direction, but it looks like he's slowed down for the time being, whether or not he is looking for the next stage. Fortunately, losing some of those raiding cavalry to the watchtower. Does the watchtower have crenellations? Yes, it does. So it's pretty scary for him, to be honest. There's double wall in this position. It's like Nullus looking to take that one down. But I mean, he's in a pretty decent spot there. Managed to idle so many villagers and take out a couple as well. Maybe this could be considered being a bit greedy, but he just knows that Firefox just really doesn't have the units out, so he can just go and do what he wants, basically. Chongqi is flying around, though, so if the Chongqi does notice this, then it is a little bit troublesome. I also like what Nullus has done, where he's just completely ignored the earth wall. So this is the bit that's really hard to attack because it's easily defended from this wall. So he just went, I'm just going to go up here. Another option for that forest fire would be to burn this, and then it would take down a decent chunk of wall, and then you would be let in, which is always a decent play. The issue is these crenellations towers for unupgraded raiding cavalry isn't ideal. Do you look at the armory situation? Not deciding to like spam out these armory upgrades, getting one extra one, a nice bronze armor, and I think one Valkyrie would be pretty nice here, just to get a healer. I assume the Valkyrie's gone down. Probably went down earlier, but a Valkyrie to get a little bit of healing in while all these units are sat back would be pretty nice. Now, we do see medium cavalry, medium throwing axemen as well. And then just checking this position just to see if this is where the units decided to go back to. I mean, I assume it is where they're going to go. And Firefox didn't change his mind, still went Gomang. And now we probably will see a castle coming up or a ballet coming up on that side. Something for Nullus to siege into at some point. And for someone that did mention it earlier, we do have the Skadi coming in. Nullus, he's already got his wooden wall up this side, a very, very safe gold mine. He's even got some safe hunt back here, can easily move over to this gold mine whenever he wants. He's got the vision, pretty much all of it up till this point. It'd be very unlikely to be sneaking around the side. I mean, when the White Horse Cavalry do come in, that is kind of an option for Firefox, but he's going to have to realize where Nullus has line of sight, so he should be able to deal with that one pretty quickly. Hillfort coming up on the front, potentially to get some Huskarls out or just secure the position. Could even be getting some of those nice siege weapons out. And now the boys. I think this was a short that I made, one of the first shorts that I made for the original game that said Frost Giants are broken. Because back in the old game, I felt like they were. I think they're pretty underused now. I think Frost Giants are so strong. The only thing about them is that they are a little bit slow. But their special ability, being able to just stun something for a considerable period of time, is pretty wild. And in come the White Horse Cavalry. Looks like they did spot the food gatherers. And Nullus forced to change those into berserks. Probably didn't need to change that many, but felt like he just wanted to, which does push his eco back a little bit, but he's had them gathering for a while, so he's happy to take the hit on that one. And actually, Firefox is running through the black fog exactly as we said, but it looks like he doesn't have that much out to defend. And Nullus is ready. He's got his 3 portable rams, and this is my favorite way to play Norse 2. Get some kind of heroic age in, grab a couple of portable rams, and just start pushing. Even get the Frost Giant upgrade, gets them up to 800 HP, and they will deal with that Taowu nicely. Looks like Nullus does right-click onto that Taowu, but he's going to get frozen beforehand. And the Baolei, if they can shuffle in formation, it looks like they're getting a little bit lost. But if they can make it towards the Baolei, it's going to be very nice. Issue is, always with myth units against China, is the Sages come out. But actually the Sage one gets frozen. Wins the speed roll, does this Frost Giant. And the Baolei slowly going to go down. Also, this is putting a stop to basically all of the gold mining operation, at least on this side, whether or not Firefox is down here, which he probably is, considering there's a Baolei there. There was only one Quafu that could carry on mining. So still getting an advantage in eco there. That's pretty huge. Frost Giants are unkillable tanks. And so hard to kill in Norse Wars. Yep. Myth units in Norse Wars are very strong. Same with Valkyries. And I think Nullus will be able to clear up all these Quafus. I assume they have their upgrade. Yeah, they do. They do have their survival equipment. Oh, and Firefox was actually going Mythic Age. I think he's played this one very greedy. And all of those units will be pushed back. So actually, the Quafu do survive, but town center down, gold mining operations stopped. Looks like the tortoise is going to go down pretty much for free. And there's some houses down here getting a little cheeky bit of vision. But in come some of Norse's worst nightmare, which is those snake boys, the snaky dragons, which are very, very difficult to deal with. Need some Goldie, and Null's already spamming those Goldie out. He knows exactly what he needs. He's at full pop right now, but I mean, he can just basically face tank everything. Just take some units out, take some of his own units out along with it, and then replace his units with Goldie, and he'll be a happy camper. He could swing around and go for this gold mine, but I think it is just fine just to plow through to the main base. I mean, he knows that he's got so much more stuff. He obviously can't see this graph here, which he's ridiculously ahead. And still, the other option is to just sending a little raiding party down there. Unfortunately, they're all pretty low HP, so if Firefox has some more towers down there like he had up here, it might be a bit tricky for these guys, but we'll see what they can get done. And so many low HP units here. There is a bow late, as we saw, but it doesn't look like there's any other towers. And Firefox trying to sit back here with his siege crossbow. I mean, it will eventually take out the hill fort, and then Nullus just decides he wants to go for the middle town center. He can do whatever he wants basically at this point, and looks like he's pre-queuing champion. So I imagine he's thinking about Mythic Age. There's also a little hunting group down here. Nice find. There are those tiger cavalries, and you do really have to watch out for those guys, because not only do they have that little buff against cavalry, but then when you pick one of them off, he then spawns a little spearman, and the spearman counters the raiders as well. So you do really have to watch out for that one. And Nullus rightly backs off, and it looks like Tyr is going to be the option. So some upgrades for your Sark, some upgrades for your, or Berserk, I should probably call them. It's been a year, I should probably call them the right thing. And upgrades for your Huskarls. Obviously Fimbulwinter at some point. And I think Nullus is just going to chill, wait for that. He can even wait for his champion infantry to come through. Just make sure that he's at full power spike before he runs in. The raiders, they are having a cheeky look. I mean, he's on all of the resources right now. Didn't even bother to scout this side, but doesn't need it. And Firefox, he is trying to take down some of these hill forts from range, but another great option for the Frost Giant is just getting on some of these siege weapons. A nice grab at the town center just as a defensive situation, but I think Nullus is just going to completely just swing around here, and then this is going to be the last gold mine that Firefox really has access to, unless he snuck some in this side, which Nullus hasn't seen. Also, it feels bad to see unupgraded Tiger Cavalry. Just hasn't had the resources to really do anything with that one. And then Nullus is flexing. He can drop down a gold mine whenever he wants as well. Back at home. That's that. Unfortunately, the siege crossbows in the middle, getting a little bit caught out to Li Jing and a Dream. Now the Mythic Age in. Fimbulwinter in. That's definitely going to put a stop to anything that Firefox has really got left in this one. I mean, I'm expecting to see, actually, we can see from this that he isn't sneaking any gold. I would love to see a little sneak of a gold mine that's in this corner. I guess there was also one over here, but not really hidden too well. And it's just, this game just been Nullus putting on a bit of a clinic. And it's all because of that forest fire, just to let him in. And Firefox wasn't prepared for it. If he didn't have the forest fire, he would have had a little bit more time to kind of think about it. So that's always nice to see. And Nullus, he is ranked #1 currently. So congratulations to him. And showing that Norse is still pretty good.